Welcome back to the late night edition of Newsfeed with me, Lindy Sarame. Let's quickly wrap up our discussion on Israeli Apartheid Week, a heated conversation we've been having here in studio. And I must say to my guests, is this a clear indication of what it's like in Israel? Because, I mean, it's been a back and forth, it's been finger pointing, and from where I'm sitting, I think the biggest question is there political will to resolve the issues, and can they really be resolved? Are we listening to each other when, you've both raised your different issues and your lived experiences of what's happening in Israel? But has there really been a humanitarian effort to say, let's sit at a table, let's listen to what, each other's experiences have been and work from there?
The most amazing thing is that actually in Israel and in Palestine, it's not like this. It's what happens outside of Israel that got heated like this and you talk like this. Because if you see the people in Palestine or people in Israel, it's far from being like this. Because I'll give you quite an amazing example. The human rights in the UN, they actually boycotted, got a list to boycott 114 companies that in the settlement. The first people who come out and speak against this were the Palestinian people, because 90% of the Palestinian and 90% of the employer, they are Palestinians, and they say if they shut those companies, we will stay out of jobs. So this is quite amazing. To give a solution, we need to do it among us. I think, in my humble opinion, the solution for the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is within the Israeli Arabs. It's not in the international community, not in South Africa, not in Europe, not in the United States. We saw in the last election that we, the Israeli Arabs, want to have a good voice and to actually inflict about the political map in Israel. What we believe is that the young generation of the Israeli Arabs will eventually say, it's enough, we're already part of an integral part of the Israeli society, and we're going to put that as well as in the solution of two states, Palestine and Israel, when the capital city of Israel is Jerusalem, and only Jerusalem. After that, we can talk about the rest of the plan. As we see, the deal of the century, it was a good start. It's not a perfect deal. There is a lot of things that we must negotiate on it. It's a good start because for the first time, literally most of the Israelis are accepting the fact of a Palestinian state with East Jerusalem as the capital city, which is very amazing.
I have to move along. Class?
Okay, because we have limited time, give me 40 seconds. Trust me, I'll do it. I think the only thing that the viewers can actually take with after this discussion, because I feel like maybe from the first 20 minutes I didn't get anything, I feel like they should take this. I think the way forward should be like this. We as an international community should be advocating for dialogue, not division. We should be making sure that we bring both parties or all the parties to a round table and make sure that they negotiate to a peaceful resolution that's going to benefit everyone. See, this is something that happened in South Africa during apartheid. What happens is that the international community made sure that a black person and a white person sit around the table and negotiate. And they come up with ways on how they're going to build their own country. Sit and discuss.
Mohammed?
You took 40 seconds, but you did a bad job. So I think two things. The first is that the father
you don't have to...
It's fine. That's what it does. It attacks people personally.
The father of our dialogue in our country, the father of reconciliation, Archbishop Desmond Tutu, didn't just sit down around a table. He first traveled the world asking the international community to impose boycotts, divestments and sanctions on the apartheid regime until a fair and just table can be brought so that people can negotiate a solution. We in the BDS movement and in Africa for Palestine have spent the last 1 year, for example, getting the Anglican Church of South Africa, the Methodist Church of South Africa, the Presbyterian Church of South Africa, United Congregational Church of Southern Africa, all adopting a boycott of Israel. We feel that the boycott, divestment and sanctions movement called for by the oppressed Palestinians together with progressive Jewish Israelis is a non-violent way that we can put pressure on the Israeli regime to end its abuses against the Palestinian people. Whilst Yusuf is in South Africa, it's great that he must take heed of President Cyril Ramaphosa as the chairperson of the African Union, who completely dismissed Donald Trump's plan that Yusuf is celebrating. President Ramaphosa says that the Donald Trump plan is a form of apartheid, and we agree with that statement.
I thought he was going to do a better job than mine.
Until Israel recognizes and accepts that Palestine and Palestinians are a people that they need to live with side by side and not discriminate against them, nothing will be resolved. Until they end the occupation and they accept to move back to the borders of 1967, then everything will be able to, the both of them will be able to come back to the table and talk negotiations. Until that is done, nothing will be resolved.
All right, that's unfortunately where we'll have to end it for this evening. We've been speaking about Israel Apartheid Week. That kicks off tomorrow. That's a story we'll be tracking for you throughout the week. Let's take a quick ad break now and back at the top of the hour with more news. Stay with us.